When the earth swallowed people alive? Was it demonic? In Numbers 16, a group of men rebelled against Moses. They thought they were right. They even claimed God was with them. But then something terrifying happened. The ground under their feet split open. They fell alive into the earth. Their families, their tents, everything. And then, the ground closed back up. No fire, no army, no warning. Just the earth itself swallowing them. Sometimes God doesn't send a flood or fire. Sometimes the very ground you stand on becomes your judgment. Pride can make you think you're standing strong until the ground disappears. If this made you think deeper about God, don't just scroll. Join us. Subscribe. Imagine fighting someone all night only to realize you've been wrestling with God himself. That's exactly what happened to Jacob. One night, a mysterious man showed up and fought him till dawn. But here's the twist. This wasn't just any man. It was God in human form. Jacob refused to let go until he got a blessing. And guess what? He got it. But not without a price. He walked away with a limp, a reminder that some blessings come with a struggle. Would you wrestle with God for a blessing? Let me know in the comments. And if you love mind-blowing Bible stories, hit that subscribe button. Out of all the women in the world, why did God choose Mary to give birth to Jesus? Was she the holiest, the most powerful, or was there another reason no one wants to talk about? Many believe Mary was chosen because of her purity and faith, which is true, but think about this. God didn't choose a queen. He didn't pick a priest's daughter. He chose a poor, unknown teenager from a small village. In human terms, Mary was a nobody. But God saw something greater, a heart willing to say yes, even when it made no sense. And here's the controversial part. If Mary had said no, would God have chosen someone else? So maybe the real lesson isn't just about Mary, it's about us. God doesn't pick people based on status, but on willingness. If he called you today, would you say yes? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and follow for more Bible mysteries. 50,000 people dropped dead instantly, all because they peeked inside a box. This wasn't any box. It was the Ark of the Covenant, the throne of God's presence. The rule? Doctor, not touch it. But some men got curious. They opened it. Boom. God struck them on the spot. This isn't myth. It's in 1 Samuel 6. A chilling reminder. God's holiness is no joke. Want more wild Bible stories? Next up, a king eaten by worms while giving a speech. Smash subscribe. You seriously won't believe what happens next. Atlantis, the city that sank. They say Atlantis was a city so advanced it made today's world look primitive. But one day it vanished. No war, no survivors, just gone. Sound familiar? Like Sodom? Like Babylon? Maybe Atlantis wasn't just a Greek myth. Maybe it's a memory of when God judged the pride of nations and swallowed their glory whole. What if Atlantis was real? If history keeps repeating itself, what makes you think we're safe? Is hell alive? Most people think hell is just a burning pit, but in some parts of the Bible, hell is described like a living thing. In Isaiah 5:14, it says hell opens its mouth wide to swallow people. Not just a place, but a force pulling people in. Ancient Jewish writings even pictured Sheol as a creature, always hungry, never full. What if hell isn't just where you go? What if it's something that wants you? The Bible shows that death and the grave are not passive. They're active enemies, and only God can save us from them. Jerusalem, the city that won't die. They've tried to destroy Jerusalem for over 3,000 years. Babylonians burned it. Romans crushed it. Crusaders, empires, all fought for it. But Jerusalem still stands, not because of politics, but prophecy. God said he put his name there, and it won't be erased. Jerusalem is still standing. Maybe it's time you did too. 250 men lit incense, and God answered with fire. They demanded power God didn't give them. They lit their incense. Then fire exploded from the sky. Not a single survivor. God's fire doesn't play favorites. Subscribe for the truth about 185,000 trained warriors, one invisible killer, 0 survivors by sunrise. The Assyrian army mocked God, so he sent one angel. No battle, no swords, just 185,000 corpses by morning. God doesn't need an army. Hit subscribe. A man gave a speech, and the crowd called him a god. He loved it, took all the glory. But then, God struck him. He fell to the ground, and worms started eating him from the inside. Alive, in front of everyone. No warning, no mercy. It's real. Acts 12:23. A brutal reminder, God won't share his glory with anyone. Want more savage Bible stories? Next up, 2 Bears vs. 42 Kids. Demons who acted like gods. In the Old Testament, people worshipped gods like Baal and Moloch. But behind those idols were real spiritual forces, demons. Deuteronomy 32:17 says they sacrificed to demons, not to God. These spirits demanded blood, even human sacrifices. They promised power, but only brought death and slavery. False gods weren't just fake, they were dangerous. Even today, not everything that looks powerful is from God. Thanks for subscribing. God sending evil spirits? In 1 Samuel 16:14, the Bible says an evil spirit from the Lord tormented King Saul. Wait, from God? It sounds strange, but the Bible shows that even dark forces are under God's control. God can use anything, even evil, and to bring judgment or to test hearts. Evil doesn't move on its own. In the end, God is still in charge of both light and darkness. Nothing escapes his power, not even demons. The Nephilim, giants born from angels? In Genesis 6, the Bible talks about the Nephilim, ancient giants, but their origin is even stranger. It says the sons of God, heavenly beings, came down and had children with human women. Their offspring were mighty and violent, not fully human, not fully angel, a mix that was never supposed to exist. Some believe these hybrids corrupted the earth so badly it helped trigger the flood. It wasn't just sin, it was something unnatural. Maybe the scariest evil isn't just what humans do, it's what happens when heaven and earth are twisted together. Don't forget. Jesus said he would rise after 3 days and 3 nights, but Friday until Sunday is not that. According to Matthew 12:40, Jesus would be in the grave for 3 days and 3 nights. But if he died on Friday evening and rose up on Sunday morning, these are barely 2 nights. Some believe he was crucified on Wednesday or Thursday, and that perfectly harmonized with prophecy. This mystery runs deep. Subscribe to I Speak the Bible to reveal more. 30 silver coins. Why isn't it gold? Why the exact amount? Because it wasn't accidental. 30 pieces of silver were the price of a slave in Exodus 21:32. Judas' betrayal met the prophecy in Zechariah 11:12, 100 years before it happened. It was God's way to show how the world undervalued Jesus, even though he gave us everything. Hunger for more biblical truth? Subscribe to I Speak the Bible.